And I'm David. We're talking about Big Brother.
It's Big Brother.
Another dramatic week.
Well, as we had sort of been setting up over the weeks, we're at a time where Paul has set himself up perfectly.
Oh my goodness.
And we recently saw CBS start to show that in the episodes, what his plan is and how perfectly it is.
He has executed it flawlessly.
He really has. I have to give him major props.
And really the last couple of people that he has to get out of the house are Mark and Kevin in order for him to sort of be set for the rest of the season, and he succeeds in getting Mark out.
So I was excited to see Mark campaign.
Yes, that was great.
We haven't seen a lot of that this season.
Right, and Mark like legitimately was, I think, asking the right questions, like, what is there a conversation we could have where you could consider keeping me?
What can I say to you?
Making an argument for why you should keep me and get rid of Matt, you know, like really making some coherent arguments. Christmas was responding to some of them.
Yes,
I thought it was great.
It made her think.
Yeah.
I thought he did that well, and I also loved his attitude.
Yes.
I say this every week when someone's on the block and they either hide or they throw fits and they act crazy, and I think if you can just stay cool and have level-headed conversations, you have a better shot.
Exactly. Mark sort of endeared himself to other people in the house.
Yeah.
They started to really like him as a person and enjoy being around him, and I think that was part of why they started to respond to his arguments, because they're like, you know, we really like this guy, we like having him around.
They forgot that they were supposed to yell at him and like fight with him.
Exactly.
All of a sudden you forget about that stuff.
Yeah. So he really did play a good game up until the end. Unfortunately, it was a little too late. He aligned with the wrong people.
I think I was okay with some of the decisions he made. Like, I get that he was trying to float back and forth with power.
Sure.
At least he
just
was
got busted.
doing something. Yeah, it just didn't work out for him.
Yeah.
I'm all okay with that, and I think he went out on a positive note.
Yes.
I enjoyed his interview with Julie.
Totally.
And his tears in the DR just they're my everything this summer.
They'll be sorely missed.
That is actually my favorite part of this whole season.
And what was a nice twist to the eviction ceremony was that there were 2 votes thrown Matt's direction. So it was not unanimous.
Which, interestingly, it was decided that Jason was going to do 1 rogue vote.
Yeah, and that was going to be it.
But Alex blanked? Like, does anyone buy that?
I was so confused by that. Like, did she really think like, oh crap, which one of us was going to be the vote? I might as well do,
I don't know if I fully buy that story. But anyway, Jason and Alex got 2 votes in there for Matt.
Yes. So then Matt is like paranoid immediately following the elimination ceremony because he thinks, well, I was just supposed to be a pawn. Like, why are there now 2 votes thrown my direction?
Right.
So he's immediately trying to figure out who it is.
And honestly, 1 rogue vote, you can kind of be like, whatever, it's a rogue vote.
It's a sympathy vote.
But when you have 2...
all of a sudden,
seems like a pair might have done it. And that is a little more fishy.
And that is what happened. So they go right into the HOH competition, and all of these pairs are now thinking like, we have to win because these other pairs are going to start taking shots at us.
Which is part of Paul's master plan.
Right.
One side of the house does not do well in these competitions, and there's one couple that does do very well.
Yeah, it's down to Jason and Alex, final 2 for this HOH.
And why doesn't one just drop?
Yeah.
Oddly, they start bickering, and I don't buy, and no one I don't think buys that means they're not close.
Yeah.
It looks like you're super competitive.
Totally. And to me, it's both of them are trying to build their case for final 2 for when they end up having to convince people to vote for them. They both want another HOH. Neither of them wants to throw it to each other.
But in the meantime, you're now the power duo that is going to be the major target.
Yeah, it's a delicate line that you have to walk there.
And then funny enough, Matt decided, oh, we're in the Big Brother house, why don't we start playing?
Oh, look at that, Matt.
Oh, I don't know, final 8? That's when you show up?
I guess so.
So he gets ticked off at this.
Yeah.
And is having some words with them, which is just hilarious because it's like, what, Matt?
Right.
Who are you?
And he's like upset because of the votes, also upset because Raven's upset.
Because of Raven. Oh, she fell.
So he's getting real angry with them, and he's like, this is ridiculous. Why don't you guys just throw it to each other? Let's go inside and eat some pizza. Like, he's too upset for the situation, in my opinion.
Well, but it was hilarious.
Yeah, right.
So eventually, Alex does drop so that Jason can have it.
Yes.
I am always going to be a fan of Jason as an HOH
Yeah.
because he's the one person who will go rogue.
Yeah.
And not fall in line with everybody else.
He's an independent thinker.
Yeah.
And he's not wrapped around Paul's little finger as much as everybody else in the house is.
I mean, he did protect Paul in the past. He's not against Paul by any means.
Right, no.
He just will not be manipulated as easily as everybody else.
So he's up on the HOH. And he decides that he wants to go after Matt and Raven.
Which is kind of where we have been set to go.
Right. They're going to take the first shot, right, at this other power couple in the house. But they convince Matt and Raven to go up on the block because really Kevin is their backdoor target.
Okay, can we just pause right here and say, is anyone really buying that you would backdoor Kevin?
Yeah. And most of all, Matt and Raven, because in the previous episode, you're all talking about Alex and Jason are going to take the first shot at us unless we take it at them. Now, Jason is HOH, and you're all of a sudden not believing that he will try to get one of you out?
I realize Matt and Raven have been fairly gullible this whole season.
Yeah.
But this just
next level.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
That they are suspicious and concerned about Jason and Alex.
Yeah.
But yet when they're in power, not actually worried about being sent home.
Yeah. If you're not worried when one of them is HOH, then when are you worried?
I don't understand.
It's so weird. So they totally buy this plan to accept Kevin as a backdoor target, etc., etc. Jason does the whole ceremony and sort of does a speech, an interesting speech where he's like, I think we all know what the real plan is to sort of soothe Matt and Raven's nerves.
Jason's speeches
they're odd. And Kevin is sort of like, huh, what's the real plan?
Yeah.
But that's not actually Jason's plan. He's just trying to throw Matt and Raven off the scent.
So Matt and Raven are nominees. Is that us caught up on episodes?
Yes,
I believe that is
the end of Sunday's episode. So spoiler time.
Spoilers, you guys. Jason wins veto.
Yeah.
Keeps all of the power in his hands.
He is peaking at an interesting time.
He really is. He is good at those competitions. He wins veto, and, you know, Jason has nothing against Kevin. You know, Paul is vocal against Kevin. Christmas has become vocal against Kevin. Alex is definitely vocal against Kevin. Throughout all of these weeks of this building up against Kevin, Jason has just been like, everyone just calm down. Like, let's not, why are we fighting with Kevin? Like, he's a good guy.
Right, we're all being too paranoid
here. Deep down, he doesn't want to even pretend to nominate Kevin. He doesn't want to rock the boat with Kevin.
And I think that that's a fair thing for Jason to feel, because I think out of anyone in the house, Jason can probably trust Kevin the most of anyone.
I don't know if everyone knows this, but live feeders know that every morning, since the beginning, since week 1, I think, Jason and Kevin do a morning walk. They get up and they go and they walk that yard. They've built a personal relationship.
Yeah, I could see them being a final 2 duo, you know, like they've just sort of been together, trusting each other.
That would be an interesting accident.
I know,
but
right?
they haven't a bond,
so
and
I think
they get along.
Jason, of everyone in the house, probably is like, I don't really, for my game, I don't need to get Kevin out because I can trust Kevin.
Yeah.
So that's why he doesn't want to backdoor him. Paul, on the other hand, though, and you know Paul's been running the house all season, he wants still to backdoor Kevin. He needs to get Kevin out so it's just couples left and Paul can sail to the final 3 with whichever couple makes it to the end.
It still doesn't hurt Paul. He still wants the couples to go after each other.
Yeah.
But he's concerned about his own safety, and he's just not sure that Kevin is in his pocket.
Yes.
Paul's worried about that.
And so Paul's doing a lot of campaigning with his allies towards Jason, trying to get him to pull one of them down and put up Kevin as the renom.
At one point, Jason did say, I'm tired of being a minion. And I was like, oh my God, is he reading the internet?
Yes.
Because that's what we're calling you guys.
Right.
How did he know? He figured it out.
Yeah.
He figured out they're minions.
Yeah.
So spoiler, he does not use the veto.
Which I love, the first time something doesn't go Paul's way.
And he keeps Matt and Raven on the block. It's also I was gonna say the first time that people have been surprised that they're targets. I don't know if that's actually true, that it's the first time, I'm just forgetting.
Right.
But it's been the first time in a while.
Yes.
That people are like, wait, I might be a target?
Understandably, Matt and Raven go berserk immediately.
Berserk, but I'm surprised about Matt.
Yeah, right.
I mean, we kind of saw that Raven can be a loose cannon.
Yeah, and she really was the one who started it. She like went off on Jason immediately. saying that he's a liar and he promised her that she wouldn't be the target and blah, blah, blah.
But Matt's like, Jason's a coward, he's hiding in the storage room. Like Matt's getting into it. And again, I'm like, Matt, here you are. This week
you're finally playing the game.
Okay, hi, welcome.
Yeah. So they're screaming at Jason, but Jason is sort of keeping his cool through all of this. And
Jason's not good at this stuff. He wants to hide.
Yeah, right.
He's like, don't just talk to me about it. I don't know what to say. Yeah.
But Raven's like, well, you whispered in my ear that you were going to keep me safe. And Jason's like, well, of course you say it's a whisper because then nobody can confirm whether or not that's true. But they're both just flying off the handle at Jason.
It does look like Matt's going to probably try to fall on his sword for Raven.
Yeah,
he's already talking about penalty votes.
Right, because he's a have-not, and he's talking about, I'm going to eat regular food, I'm going to take hot showers, I'm going to sleep in a normal bed and rack up as many penalty points as I can.
It does seem like most of the season Matt has just wanted to protect Raven and get her as far as he can, and
now
don't
he's
know
made
why,
it to jury, so what does he care?
Yeah,
it seems to be his attitude.
That was his goal, to make jury. I can't imagine the house keeping Matt, especially if Matt's going to sort of campaign to
be sent
evicted
home.
over her.
Yeah, right.
If I was in the house, I'd say either one, who cares?
Right. Well, to me, I'd say
equal.
I would send Matt home just because he's a little bit more physically capable than Raven.
But he hasn't proven to.
True. He won a veto by accident. So.
Which, oh my gosh, I'm so grateful he acknowledged that in his speech.
Yes.
I was like, okay, at least you know.
Yeah, you're self-aware. Amidst all of this fighting between Matt and Raven and Kevin, Christmas and Josh are sort of starting to pile on Kevin a little bit. I think maybe trying to paint a little bit more of a target on Kevin. They're fighting about stupid stuff. It gets blown out of control. It starts to get a little physical at some point. The feeds cut. It's a lot of drama. A lot of fighting going on the feeds since the veto ceremony.
I mean, Paul, Christmas, and Josh have proven to be the hotheads of this season.
Yeah.
And they will blow things up.
They'll do whatever it takes.
And get confrontational.
Yeah.
And I don't even know, like, it seems like Josh regrets it afterwards. I'm not sure about Christmas. I mean, Paul usually does it strategically.
Yes.
I think that Christmas just gets hot-headed. I'm not sure. Well, I guess Alex, too. There's a lot of hotheads this summer.
Yeah.
Well, here we are in this time that we were hoping for to eventually people have to go after each other. Yes, there have to be cracks. Paul's still running the show. He still has a leg up, and I give him major props, and I still feel like he's going to win the game
for sure
unless someone
and get him out.
Takes a shot.
Yeah, and I think behind him, Jason is probably my number 2 in terms of like who's playing the best game, especially considering he's winning all these competitions right now.
Jason and Alex are extremely competitive. Alex makes horrible decisions, and I can't believe that I'm saying Jason makes better decisions than Alex.
I know. I never thought I would say that.
Right?
The rodeo cowboy.
I mean, I give Christmas and Josh some props, and then I also take points away. But I feel like that with everybody.
Yeah.
So who's to say?
Who knows?
I'm just interested to see. I mean, like, wake me up when someone takes a shot at Paul, or just wake me up at the finale. I'll whatever.
And we'll watch Paul win.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Who's gonna go next? Whoa.
What's gonna happen? We'll see you next time.
Okay, bye.
Bye.